Developed and released by Moi Rai Games way back in December of 2020, Monster Sanctuary is a 2D platforming monster taming game with Metroidvania elements that see you start out on your adventure with your family's very own spectral familiar as your guide. As you learn to fight other monsters and raise them as your own from your own eggs, you improve your standing within the order that looks over the sanctuary. The sanctuary itself stands apart from the rest of the world, existing in its very own bubble, with the rest of the world being unaware of its existence, allowing it to exist in complete harmony. But that harmony is now under threat, and it falls upon you, the protagonist, to protect the sanctuary. If this sounds like it could be your cup of tea, then stick around as we explore and review the game Monster Sanctuary. From the very onset, you'll notice that this is a monster taming game like none other. Instead of the traditional 2D top-down perspective, we have a 2D side-scrolling platformer with areas that can only be unlocked with abilities that are unlocked as you acquire new equipment and add new monsters to your roster. Equipment like double jump boots will help you in your platforming as you navigate the world, but monster abilities in the overworld will become increasingly vital as they allow you to unlock and better navigate areas, and maybe even help you find some hidden rewards. These new monsters are recruited by hatching them from eggs that are won in battle, and the better the score you achieve in battle, the more likely you'll get an egg for that monster. But let's not forget about the battle system. Unlike most monster taming games that see you battling it out, this game has you fighting 3 versus 3. That's right, triple battles. And whilst we have the traditional elemental system for type advantages and status conditions to strengthen or weaken a monster, we also have to contend with the game's mana system. Every turn, each monster can perform one attack, but each attack costs mana, which only a certain amount of is replaced every turn, forcing you, at times, to be conservative with your most powerful attacks. Outside of combat, you can equip your monsters with up to 4 items, feed them for added bonus effects, and most importantly assign their skill points. With each level up for your monsters, you'll acquire a skill point that can be spent on the monster's skill tree. Skill trees which are a very unique thing for every species of monster in the game. Your moves, stats, abilities, and even mana regeneration are mostly determined by what skills you choose here, so choose wisely, as your choices can vary between having a healer, fighter, or hybrid between the two on a single monster. And if you're indecisive and want to take multiple paths with a cat circa for example, then you'll be grateful for how this game handles grinding. The level of the monsters that you hatch in Monster Sanctuary is scaled with your highest level monster, so any monsters you hatch in the game at level 40 will not have to go through 40 levels of tedious grinding. You're practically already there. And as for the whole process of returning to base to access monsters that you don't have in your party, think again. Your entire collection of monsters is available to you as you traverse the game's world. You can swap out your monsters at any time in between battles. That means more time for you to focus on the game itself, whether that be exploring areas with newfound abilities, progressing through the story, or developing exciting new combos to use with your monsters. As with most monster taming games, we do have a rarity system and evolution, but these mechanics are unlocked as you progress through the game's story, as are the champion monsters, which are big bad monsters that have gone rogue and serve as your boss battles. Once defeated, each of these champions can be rebattled back at base, with the possibility of obtaining an egg for one if you get a 5-star rating in battle. So let's talk about that next. In Monster Sanctuary, it simply isn't enough to defeat a champion monster. If you truly want to complete your monster journal by obtaining all of the monsters, you need to learn the opponent's monster strengths, weaknesses, and find the best possible combinations and strategies to defeat them. Everything you do is taken into account with the scoring system. How long you take, how much health you win with, the number of status conditions on both you and the opponent, and much more. Even after completing this game's story, you will find yourself coming back for more, if only to get those 5-star ratings on each champion. As is the norm for these review videos, the footage throughout this video is captured directly off of the Steam Deck in Handheld Mode, whereby the game played perfectly with 0 crashes and full controller support. Prior to this playthrough, I completed the game twice over on the Nintendo Switch, so I can attest to the replay value of this game. As for the art style, I'm a sucker for good old-fashioned pixel art, and this game doesn't disappoint in that regard. The developers of the game itself have even released a free content update to the game after 18 months, titled The Forgotten World, containing a whole new area to explore new monsters, abilities and more. Yeah, free. They didn't charge any money for this update, they just simply pushed it out as a free update. There's some bonus brownie points there from Moi Rai Games, and they have another game currently in development which I'll be sure to give a try upon its release. Monster Sanctuary is available on all major platforms, although I highly recommend getting the game on a portable platform such as the Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch, if you have the option, as this game plays more comfortably on a handheld device than on the large screen in my opinion. So go ahead, wishlist or buy the game if this happens to be your cup of tea, and be sure to top up that subscribe button. Until the next video, play casual.